What's going on, YouTube, and welcome back here to another Q&A Minecraft Disney episode. Today we are going to be going back into the MC Parks server, looking in Epcot, and we're going to be answering a couple of your questions. If you have any of your own questions that you would like me to answer, let me know in the comment section down below. Alright, so without further ado, let's get into today's episode as we have a couple of good questions once again. So we're starting off in Epcot because one of the questions involves a recent sort of a news update here with Epcot. And one of you guys asked me, I recently was looking online and saw that Epcot now has Communicore Hall, one of the new additions from old Innoventions. And they were testing the lighting effects at night. What are your thoughts? So this is a great question, and it's a great timing for this question because I really like Epcot, as much as I don't love the direction it seems to be going in. Basically, this whole area right here, all these little light glass panels are all screens, and they were testing them the other day. It looked really cool. I will admit, I wonder how they're going to do it in Minecraft. I mean, you've seen what they do already with some of the lighting effects that are incredible. They've done a really nice job in Minecraft here with the updates, with the lighting effects and things like that. So I'm interested to see how it goes in Minecraft. But this is all going to be lit up, so I'm interested to see how that transfers over into real life. And I think it's cool to have all the lighting and things like that, but what is the substance? Is there enough content behind the lighting, right? Are there things for us to do? Is there things that we actually want to do? That's really what it's all going to come down to. But yes, I'm really excited for Innoventions, or whatever they're calling it now, Communicore Hall. I'm really excited for it. And this is in the new World Celebration area that I was actually in Disney when World Celebration opened, so that was kind of cool. As the only time I've ever been to a land opening, kind of one of the most disappointing land openings in Disney World history, but at least I was able to say I was there. But a great question, by the way. So we're actually going to move over to Big Thunder Mountain. I think, is this going to take me there? Nice. So we have a couple questions here in the Magic Kingdom. So this next question is, hi TDL, thank you for all your videos and thank you for watching them. So their question today is, I recently heard that they are going to retrack Big Thunder Mountain. What are your thoughts? So there's a great question. So yes, so apparently there are rumors right now, and they should be announcing it at D23 later this year. They're going to be retracking Big Thunder Mountain. Now, here's my theory. Here's what I'm going to go with, okay? This isn't confirmed by Disney, but this is sort of us kind of trying to figure things out with common sense, right? So, in the event that they're going to do what part of the next question is, beyond Big Thunder Mountain, they are going to have to retrack Big Thunder Mountain in order to get to the new Beyond Big Thunder Mountain, which is expected to be here, okay? So all of this stuff back here is all supposed to be part of the new expansion to Magic Kingdom, right? So if they put like a Coco and Kanto lands, things like that, if they put that all back here, they're going to have to rerun Big Thunder Mountain because you cannot enter the land from here, right? So this is all going to have to get reworked over here. And if that is indeed the case, we are going to see an interesting change to Big Thunder Mountain. So that's a great question. And what lands would you like to see them put in beyond Big Thunder Mountain? And that was the other question, which is a great one. So what I'm thinking, right, and I think what Disney's going to end up doing is something with Coco and Encanto. It's not necessarily the thing I'm excited for, but I think that's what they're going to do, right? We know how Disney sees those as very big IPs right now. So, and as time has kind of gone along, I would say Coco is already starting to lose its relevancy. So I wonder if that is still going to be relevant by the time the land opens. But it is still interesting nonetheless. And like I said, really what this area is going to be, right? You're going to basically extend this pathway. This pathway is going to run right alongside Rivers of America, right to the back behind Big Thunder Mountain. So, kind of wrapping up two questions in one there, but thank you for both of you for those questions. They were great. Great questions that I was very eager to answer. And kind of continuing with that as we're over here, what are your thoughts on Tom Sawyer Island, and what would you replace it with if it were to be replaced? So this is another great question, and my answer to this is, unfortunately, I've never been to Tom Sawyer Island, and I think that's sort of indicative of the problem with Tom Sawyer Island. Is it's not enough of a most people are not going to go out of their way to go to Tom Sawyer Island, unfortunately. And I'm one of those people. You know, Disney trips are there's only so much time, and especially in a park like the Magic Kingdom, you really need to make it worth my while to take a riverboat to go across and go to a land. And when there's really not much to do over there, it's one of those things that I'm just like, when I'm weighing out what I want to do on my Disney World trip, Tom Sawyer Island just isn't even close to the top of that list. And it's a shame, because I've seen, videos and things like that of Tom Sawyer Island. It is awesome. It's just, if I lived in Orlando and had more time, I would absolutely do that. It's just, when you have such a limited amount of time there, I'm not going to put a lot of focus into that. So unfortunately, I think I could see something where they put another IP there. But here's my thought here. So if we were to replace Tom Sawyer Island, and let's say they continued the Liberty Square theme, right? Like, you've got sort of something similar to the Haunted Mansion. How the Haunted Mansion has like I think it's like a Dutch goth like architecture. I think that's what they call it. If they put this sort of architecture on Tom Sawyer Island, and the villains lived here, right? Let's say the villains lived on Tom Sawyer Island. So instead of just having a bunch of cartoon mountains and villains and things like that, make it sort of like a historical area, but give it that villain's twist so you get the people to come in. And I totally think this would work. And the reason I say that is, listen, we know that Universal's building Epic Universe. And a great way to compete with that dark universe land is building a villain's land on Tom Sawyer Island. And like I said, that way you're keeping the theme of the area. It's going to fit in with the Haunted Mansion. It's not going to be out of place, but you're still able to have that magnet with the villains. I think that would be perfect for this area. But let me know what you guys think. What would you do with Tom Sawyer Island in some sort of refurbishment? I think this whole area is going to see so much change. We're seeing the changes right now with Country Bear. I think we're going to see Big Thunder Mountain get retracked. We're going to see beyond Big Thunder Mountain, Tom Sawyer Island. This whole area is going to look so different in the next decade, I think. And I'm really excited to see what Disney has in store for that area. But great question. And our last question today, kind of staying in this area. The last question is, why does Walt Disney World not turn the Haunted Mansion into Nightmare Before Christmas? I know Disneyland does this, and I was disappointed when I went to Disney World and they didn't have Jack Skellington. So I'm going to correct you on one thing. So they do have Jack Skellington at the not the Nightmare Before Christmas, the Not So Scary Halloween party at the Magic Kingdom, and also at I want to say the Christmas party. I think they also have Jack Skellington and Sally there, but they do not carry over the Nightmare Before Christmas. And the reason for that is Disney in the past used to do sort of seasonal things like that at the Magic Kingdom. And the most infamous example being when they turned Cinderella's castle into a birthday cake. And people were going on their once-in-a-lifetime Disney trips, and they were taking pictures in front of Cinderella's castle in a cartoon birthday cake. And guests were not happy with this, and it was so bad to the point where Disney actually decided they were not going to do those layovers anymore. So the only real layovers we see in terms of seasonal things, the only one we see at the Magic Kingdom, we see the Jingle Cruise, which is much beloved, and we also get in Epcot, which isn't at Magic Kingdom. In Epcot, you see the seasonal festivals, and that's it. We don't really see a lot of seasonal things at the Disney parks anymore, because they don't like changing attractions, because you have to think, the normal public doesn't know about overlays and things like that. They're not Disney fanatics, right? So the casual person that's coming to Disney World isn't going to see those types of things as like, oh, it's just a seasonal thing. They're paying thousands of dollars to come to Disney World, and then the castle's a pink birthday cake, right? So Disney's really been conscious of not doing those sorts of things, and I think it's to their detriment in my opinion, but I understand where it's coming from, right? And I think you need to see Disney as a company doesn't want that kind of negative feedback, and they're putting so much investment into the parks just for people to be upset by it. They're just not going to do that stuff anymore. And I think it's indicative of kind of how the Disney company runs themselves today. They don't run themselves that way anymore. They don't do things like that. They don't step out of the box and do things that might be a little bit, a little bit experimental, right? They just don't do those things anymore. So that's going to do it for today's questions. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and thank you for all the great questions. We're going to continue to answer your guys' questions here on the channel. If you want to have your question answered here, make sure to leave your comments down below. I'd love to answer your questions in the next Disney Q&A. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and have a magical day.